Welcome. My name is Ed Zinkiewicz, and I want to talk to you today about what you wear. But first, I'm inviting my friend Jackie to come up so we can share something about outfits. I want to welcome Jackie Gray to help with a little song today. Are you ready?
I am.
I see by your outfit that you are a cowgirl.
I see by your outfit that you're a cowboy too.
We see by our outfits that we are both cowpokes. If you had an outfit, you would be a cowpoke too. I hope you enjoyed that. Jackie Gray is a professional singer. You can find her stuff at Spotify and iTunes. Thanks for coming, Jackie. I appreciate your help. To bring a very important point and message to all of us. I see by your outfit. We can see that we're cowboys. Isn't that an interesting notion? Most of the time when we talk to people, what we see is what we get. We see their face, we might hear their voice, but do we really know anything beyond that? No. However, when they start putting on a uniform, things change dramatically and quickly. There are three things at least that go on that we can identify readily by the fact that they have a particular uniform on. For example, expectations. If you're a policeman or if you see a policeman, you can expect them to protect you. And in fact, one of the reasons they may have taken up that profession is so they could live up to that expectation. They wanted to protect people. Doctors, same deal. They wanted to heal people and do. Firemen, save people. Teachers, teach. Along with the uniform come certain expectations that you and I have about them and they have about themselves, and they're trying to live up to that by doing two other things. One is a constellation of behaviors. We can expect policemen, for example, to stand in the way of harm, don't we? We're here, they're here, the danger's on the other side of them. They've put themselves between us and that danger point. Same thing with doctors. We expect them at base not to faint at the sight of the blood, even though you and I might be conked out on the floor. But there's a lot more to being a doctor than not fainting at the sight of blood. I'm sure you'll agree. Same is true of anyone else that wears a uniform. They spend a lifetime improving those behaviors, broadening those behaviors, deepening those behaviors in terms of their understanding, behaviors, and skill level. Firemen move toward the fire where you and I might be moving the other direction, and teachers do the unspeakable. Well, actually, really is speakable because they do it in public. Along with behavior, along with expectation, comes a certain set of core values. Now, in the United States, when we talk about a policeman, we talk about serve and protect. This is a Canadian policeman, so what happens to him is a French thing. Maintain the law, but it's broader than that. It's deeper than that. It has nuance. It has to do with following the way, being in the right. We all know, when you're talking about doctors, that there's a certain level of expectation. First, physician, do no harm. And that's universal around the world. Now, I could not find a small saying to go with firemen and teachers or with other uniforms. However, you can bet that in locker rooms, at lunch counters, at classrooms, every professional, everyone who wears a uniform talks about the values. What makes this an exceptional job? What do I have to do to be good at it? What do I have to do to even get recognition for it? What is of value in what I do? They spend time at it, discussing it, learning about it. And in fact, in some cases, there are laws passed about what you must do to maintain that professional uniform. So there you have it. Behavior, expectations, values at base. Those are things that go along with the uniform. Now I ask you, what happens when the uniform gets put in the closet? Do all those behaviors, expectations, values just vanish? I don't think so. I think there is some acclimation period that goes on between the old you with the uniform and the new you with the new uniform. What is going to become of you? This is an identity issue. It is one where we're trying to establish what to put on the name card now when that uniform is no longer on us but stuck in a closet somewhere. 3 things I want you to remember that you can do to help get started in that transition between the time when you had the uniform and the time you're getting the new one. One of those things is that you're likely to go through a period of loss. This is a grieving stage, a grieving period. It may take some time, it may not. It sort of depends on you. Are you. And so sometimes you might do things faster than others. Sometimes you might do them slower. It doesn't matter. You're you. Don't be alarmed if it doesn't take as long as you think it should. Don't be alarmed if it takes longer than you thought it might. The adjustment is one you have to make. You don't have to be in a hurry about getting it done either. Nobody's got a deadline on you. Nobody expects you to be done with that problem next Monday. Nobody expects you to get up next week with a new uniform and get going just like nothing ever happened. It may not work that way or that fast. Don't worry about being in a hurry. By the same token, sometime later, don't be surprised if you get surprised. You can expect what we in our family call torpedoes. What's a torpedo? Well, you open the desk drawer and you see that gift card, the gift card that your colleagues gave you last Christmas. Oh, suddenly you miss those people, you miss that job, and you're thrust back into a little bit of grief for a brief moment when you relive again what you went through earlier. Those are torpedoes. Those are going to happen the rest of your life. Sometimes you will look at them wistfully and gratefully for the experience you have had. Second thing is, this is not your first rodeo. So use your own memory to go back and help you deal with what's coming up. How does that work? Well, first, you can remember things that you've gone through, losses that you've had before when things worked out. Now, I'm not saying that every change in your life has a silver lining. It doesn't always work that way. However, what I am saying is that if you can remember the positive times, it gives you hope that this one might also be positive as well. Look back to have hope. Second thing you can look back for is to remember how you did it. What did you talk about last time? Who did you talk to? How did you make that transition? Did you keep a journal? Did you ask certain kinds of questions? What was the process you used? It may help you gear up to wind into a new you. Other things that you can remember that's extremely important is how long it took. Often we shortchange ourselves. Oh, I should be done with this by now. Even though Ed told you not to worry about how long it takes, you worry about it because it seems long. But if you remember last time it took this, you can give yourself some grace. It might take a little longer this time too. That's okay. But it's not about what happened to you, what you used to wear, and what you're going through now to get to the other side. It's also about the future. So when you're moving out, there's 3 things that you might want to consider doing initially just to get yourself started. The first one is schedule a normal day. Get up at the same time every day. Go to bed at the same time every day. Establish meal times and stick to that schedule. You can make adjustments till you're sleeping a little longer, getting a little more rest. I advocate that, but make your pattern regular. Before, you may have had an alarm clock that dictated a lot of what you did. Now you get to do it yourself. So establish a schedule. Plan exceptional events. Now, I've done some other videos on exceptional events. I hope you'll join me with those so you can figure out how to do that. But the idea about planning a future event, maybe a trip, a birthday, a vacation, a party, some special event, graduation. If you plan those events, several things happen. One is you become expectant about something in the future instead of looking back. Second thing is you actually have to figure out what to do. And the third thing is you can be busy implementing that plan. So you have something to do, something to work on, something to look forward to, all in one bag. Good idea. Last but not least, get out with friends. Go play. Go do some of the things that make you happy and excited and engaged and active again. Be the new you that you want to be, and it will come along, and before you know it, you'll have a whole new picture to put in the frame and not one with its tongue sticking out at you. You will find at the other end the old you, just like you remember. You'll have a new uniform on, but it'll still be what you value and cherish. Go for it. If I can help you in that process, there's plenty of other videos you can look at to work on the kinds of transitions and how you might do that successfully. I hope you'll join me with those. Thanks for coming. Did you enjoy this video? This is it. I'd love it if you'd share it with your friends. Send an email right now while you're thinking about it.